Happy Thanksgiving, the great Thanksgiving season. Hope everybody getting their food stamp right, and also spend some time with family in this cold season. I'm your host, Henry Williams, with your co-host, Shanakma JML, and special guest, St. Patrick. We got a show for you. But first topic, we're gonna give an update of the Epstein case, and then we're gonna go into the main topic.
Good morning, sir, or
So
ma'am.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We see
Slow down.
the live chat board is live. We got Killer B, the Witchfinder General, in here. We got other individuals also including our number one fan, Latoya Johnson. Yes. Hope everything well. So what's up? What's up, Shin? What's up?
Hey man, you already know, man. Just been getting prepared out here. It's just getting wilder and wilder every day. So gotta be on your toes.
Yes, yeah. So how you doing? How you doing, St. Patrick? First time on the
Man, I'm doing.
live.
I'm, yes, yes, yes. Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm out here in LA, doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Okay, good, good. So now for the people watching, we're gonna go into the side topic first, and then we're gonna go into the main story. We will be having another show digesting all the information dealing with Epstein. So now let's jump into the first part of the show.
Moon Boost Adventures. You get it? This is the metal she used to turn him into a robot.
Sign the Epstein Files bill passed by the House and the Senate on Tuesday. He also alleged the documents could reveal the, quote, truth about some Democrats' associations with Epstein.
Records relating to the Epstein investigation and his ongoing case, which has, spanned 20 years now, and also related to convicted co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. The bill's language also calls on the DOJ to release names of individuals, including government officials. Attorney General Pam Bondi, she was asked yesterday by reporters about that very issue.
Passed both chambers last evening. It has not yet been signed, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Spokesman for Summers says he'll go on leave as Harvard, quote, undertakes its review, adding Summers is not scheduled to teach next semester. Summers has also resigned from the board of OpenAI and says he's stepping back from public commitments. Now, we should note there's no evidence of illegal conduct by Summers.
Yes. It passed the House. It passed the Senate. Donald Trump signed it into law. Now it's time for the
No, he
Department.
hasn't.
He haven't?
He hasn't signed it. No, he hasn't signed it into law.
Yeah,
It's
they
on
said
his desk.
a White House spokesperson said that he didn't sign it yet. But
No.
she did say when he signs it. She
Yeah.
didn't say it like it was a question.
You gonna sign something to burn your house down?
I don't think that there's anything effective in those emails that's going to really put anybody that's in the seat of power in jail or take them out of their position. Because first of all, I know that the 33,000 mails, number one, is going to be heavily redacted, which means that a lot of people's names is going to be blacked out, and a lot of what happened or what they could possibly be involved in is going to be blacked out in the paperwork too, because if it was blacked out in the original documents, then if you don't have clearance, you can't see that.
Deep. And a lot of people saying that Epstein was the agent for the state of Israel, and
Which he was.
Morgan, I hope I didn't pronounce her name wrong. Margaret Green.
Marjorie Green.
Yes. She been pushing for them to let the files go. Let us see what's in this information. She even bunned heads with Donald Trump over this. They doing this for the victims, they saying.
Yeah, but the crazy part that people is not remembering. Remember, like I said on the last show when we was talking about this, that they might not be willing to give up CIA and FBI assets that's undercover because of that too, though, or give up techniques and how how they be, infiltrating folks and stuff like that.
All right. No, they didn't infiltrate shit. The victim came and sued and put criminal lawsuits on this man. That's why Epstein went to jail, right?
Epstein
The
himself
DA,
evidence for that.
the DA brushed the shit aside. He got a call from up above, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna make a deal with you. The deal is you just tell us what happened, and we're gonna let you go." Right? Before he could tell everything he was doing, they murked his butt. Then, not only when they murked him, you feel me? It was all right. We gonna hush it up. We gonna brush. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Right? And the people gonna forget about it. Right? But because it was a scandal and they got videos of Epstein files, when they say the Epstein files, they're more than just emails. It's his personal diary of his videos of him recording these men and these women at his mansion on this island that they had seized.
Yeah, but
That's what they want to.
too, hold on. This is the thing, though. You got to realize about what they're saying, right? All of that is circumstantial at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about things that can't prove. This is why the Epstein list, his own list personally, is not real. What they're trying to say is not really viable in court. Flight logs and stuff like that, because that can
Yeah, they're
prove
not.
that can prove your location, but that's circumstantial. I could have been at the store, and then 10 minutes later, somebody got killed in the store, and then they tried to say I was the one who did it.
Yeah, that's not to say that you was in the room with a little girl. I understand that. But when it comes to the videos and the cameras of Epstein's personal diary and his recording of the hidden cameras all through his mansion and the recordings of that's documented. People just say, "Hey, release the Epstein files. Let's see who went to the island." That's
Right.
it. That's what
But
people. So we can have our own conclusion of what might have happened and what not would have happened. At least we'll know these are the people to watch out around your kids.
listen, and that's that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what you're saying is incorrect. What you're saying is correct 100%. But you're not understanding the government is trying to play like they only got these certain records, flight logs,
Uh,
there, that. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what they're telling us they got. When we
all
already
right,
know
I get
really,
you.
bro, I see it like I can attest for my credibility, right? I've actually seen the Epstein files from the Nancy Pelosi laptop files hacked. When the people hacked the Nancy Pelosi's laptop from January 6th, I seen the list. I know everybody who's on the list. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there was also a classified document that was in there that had some wording in it that I can't really be free to say right now because I'd be incriminating myself.
But
I can't.
what,
I don't have a right to speak on classified information in a public forum.
but while we talk about lists, we got a list here. We got a list of some Democratic people dealing with Black Lives Matter, dealing with mayors of New York, lawyers in Texas. Even in Virginia, we got a Democrat who turn around, start supporting GOP, but they got fishy records. 14-year-old. 2 years old till they 4 years old. We got some characters here. So let's put this list up.
Hey, and
Do
Henry,
y'all see this?
hold on, let's make sure people understand that this is
What is
not.
this?
These people are not from the Epstein list, Henry. These are from the Ghislaine Maxwell files that she's starting to learn.
Oh,
That's how these people got
birds
bagged
of
up.
a feather flock together, right?
Right. And not only that, Ghislaine Maxwell is alive, and you know she's gonna want to get less time on her sentence.
I don't mind giving her less time.
And the way that these people and when you go and you look up Google these people and how they got bagged up, you could tell it's because they already been under investigation. But unlike the Epstein files, Maxwell can give you these people's patterns.
So we're gonna put some of their names on Front Street. First person, Charles Wade. Did I pronounce the name right?
Correct.
So let's go into Charles Wade, a little snippet. Here you go right here. Charles Wade, a prominent Black Lives Matter activist and co-founder of Operation Help or Hush, a group that helped organize protests and social movement, have been charged and arrested in his arrest last month for human trafficking and prostitution. The victim was 17 years old at the time.
A minor?
Yes.
That's even worse. That's why they didn't put it up there, because they can't say that. They
So
can't
use the
say
restroom.
they can't say the last two things that they said, the two criminal charges, and then still say that it was a minor too, right there for that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. You can't close the young lady name or the young man name.
disclose the information. They can't let us know if he was trafficking her and prostituting her, or what, or if it was just in general.
So the next person is a Democratic Texas attorney and activist.
Mark
I'm
Benavides.
not even trying to pronounce his last name, but
That's
his name is
Benavides.
Mark. But he's a Mark.
Yeah, that's it. He's over.
If it turns out the book is even
They said
creepier and
80 years in prison for each of his 6 counts of human trafficking, but he got concurrent sentences. So that means he could have got 8. So he could get 6 sentences of 20. So he could have got 4 sentences for 20 years, and then the 20 is just concurrent.
So that means he get out in 8 years
Yeah,
No.
on parole.
7 to 10. You're right.
That's what that means.
He's doing almost as much time as Diddy, and he did far more. It looks like.
Yeah, he's just gonna get 8 years. He gonna get 8 years and the rest on parole. It's not a violent crime.
Not only that, remember he was an attorney, so he might have some connections. That might not even be an 8-piece. That might be a 4.
So here we go.
Yeah, fall for grace.
We dealing with Fighting Joe. That's his nickname, y'all. Fighting Joe. I
Talk about Joe
don't know how to pronounce his last name. Marcy.
Joe Morrissey.
Joe
KC,
Marcy.
stop playing.
Fighting Joe.
Close the door, Papa.
So Virginia outgoing governor had pardoned. See, the higher ups The governor pardoned them. Pardoned a state
Yeah,
senator
because
who
what
was,
he got on the governor.
yeah, pardoned
Right.
a state senator who was jailed after a sex scandal that involved a 17-year-old receptionist who later became his wife. Receptionist. Who letting
That's
daughter
kind of, yeah, no, that's kind of,
skip shit there?
yeah,
That
that's kind of sketchy.
that's 16 years old. Mm, that's nuts. And then they
You know,
pardoned. You seen that? Hold on. You seen that? They pardoned him, and it was only a misdemeanor in Virginia. It wasn't even a felony charge.
because the age of consent in some states is 16.
Not
Okay,
not only that,
especially like in Tennessee, Kentucky, right? These states are known for pedophilia, and other states it'd be a crime. You'll go to jail. But in those states, you know what I'm saying? If the girl is consensual, she's saying it's okay, it's all right.
we
You know what
know
I'm
it's
saying?
married him though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So so it's funny that it took place, that we would say, especially in my state of California, she couldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? She have to be 18. You feel me? And who really pushed it? Like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? We don't like that you dating these young girls, especially she working for you, and then all of a sudden, she become legal. You married her.
Wife
You
and
could have
all.
married her when she was 17 with her parents' permission.
You can marry.
You know,
Into the history book, you can marry him at 14, 15 with the parents' permission, and we talk about rock stars here out here.
yeah, yeah, sure, right about that.
You know what I
That
mean?
there are plenty. The
And you got
money
to think
always trump.
about Jaden Smith, and then we think about that from another perspective too. Jaden Smith got emancipated when he was 16 years old because he could
So
afford
so we got Greg Stubbs.
Jerry Stubb.
Okay, Jerry Stubbs. Here you go, right here.
Oh, you look like a pedophile.
That's messed up. Don't be saying that.
Man, look like a pedophile, man. He look like he mess with them little boys, man.
Yes, that's
Hey, boy,
why.
he
Yes,
got that look like, come here, little boy.
he had like 21 people accused him of a crime against them.
Massachusetts been hit up from these type of accusations in the more recent history.
He
They
look like
got
he been playing with little boys for a long time, man.
So here go the next one.
Here we go, Henry. Let's go.
So
Bring him
here we
out.
go into New York. We got
Here
Rick
we go.
Nelson,
Mayor Stillwater.
Stillwater, New York. I know it's cold up there right now.
My question is, they gonna let these men go to general
That's
population
right.
Some of
so they
these
could get some of
people
their
No,
justice back?
is near death.
you can't go to the general population. You have a certain amount of variety. You know they ain't
This
gonna
boy
go.
had
It's
pornography.
not like you gotta think about that, bro. You got these people who used to be. He probably had it on the government computers, to be honest with you.
Child pornography. Mm-mm.
That's dirty. They need to go to big time. But I don't think they're gonna go to general pop anyway. They gotta go to the tier for them people who got them type of charges.
Uh-uh. Nah, man, look, down in the bottom of the boot, they don't separate them.
In
Yeah, in
Oh,
Louisiana.
they
Louisiana, they
do.
don't separate them. So I don't know, what other states do. You feel me? In California, I heard they
Yeah, but
they
Louisiana,
they give them the
right?
option to let them separate. You could go to general pop or you could separate. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to general
And you
population, they do warn you and let you know because of your charges that you might be violated. You feel me?
Yeah, and out here, I mean, in Rhode Island, it's a blue state, and they're mad liberal and progressive over here. So they try to separate them because they know that that's going to happen. It's not a question.
I'm like, they should get the same. They should get the same treatment as every other criminal. You feel me? They should let them get the same taste of every other
They
criminal.
will. Hey, trust me, trust me. We got to just trust that karma works like that because remember, in those, even though they're segregated from the general pop, they're still with people who's like them.
And then at the
See,
same time, is they gonna have to register?
Oh, they always got to register out here, bro. On Halloween, they was giving people's whole. They gave a whole list of the addresses of not to go to.
All right.
They gave a whole.
so we moved around from the south to the north, the east to the west. We have African American individual. We have Caucasian individual. This list, we not hiding nothing. So we got
You gotta,
another New Yorker, from
y'all gotta
former
find these people
mayor,
pictures.
former mayor of Clayton, New York. His name Dale Kenyon. Hope I didn't say
Yep.
it. So let's go into
Yep.
him. Let's see.
Oh, this boy, what the hell?
Wait, hold up.
What?
I went to for I didn't even get the information on him. But we gonna skip him from right now
That was him.
and go into the last one. He's a former mayor in Ohio, Richard. Here you go. We gonna put it up. Former Clayton mayor, 78, accused of
Dang.
engaging in sexual acts with 14-year-old. He gonna
It just, it
spend
just,
And then you got to
life
ask yourself.
in prison.
I was gonna
Oh,
yeah.
say
wait a
See,
now
minute.
you
they
got to
Here
ain't,
you
they
ask
ain't
go.
yourself.
separating.
These two different. Okay, the first one is dealing with Dale. That's the New York mayor, and then the last one. So these two different people. I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
Let
all right,
y'all
all
know.
right, that's all right.
And you got to
So
think about this. If he's 78 years old and he's getting bagged for that right now, how many years of his life was he
How many
really
times he
doing that?
done done this over the years?
Right. And not only that, how many people in his administration and is he allowing to do these type of things too and engage in this type of behavior? Because if he's the highest ranking official there, that means there's other people who's following his footsteps.
yeah,
You
the
It's
know,
getting deeper.
parties,
then
the social
and then
events.
this, and you know what this sounds like to me, man. MK Ultra, Alice Crowley, and Black Magic, man.
You ain't wrong. You on point with that. It's
You feel me?
it's it's techno sorcery. It's the mix of technology and sorcery. That's how they're getting everybody, bro. And think about it. How many people? I bet you, if we look up the profile of what we just was watch of what we just read with these people, right? These prominent people of society, supposedly prominent people, right? if we look up that, like we take the names off of them, right? The names of who did it, but we just take the profile, meaning like what they did, how they did it, right? And then we go and we look at the missing person reports and stuff like that. You know how these kids be going missing and stuff. I guarantee we're gonna start linking some stuff together with some folks, certain times, certain places, certain things, certain situations, cell phone pings now, stuff like that is gonna start coming out. And this is probably another reason why the Trump administration didn't want to release the Epstein file, because it's gonna start hitting other people who's regular people too. Remember, if if the governor's
What
doing
you
it,
mean when you say regular people? Because none of these motherfuckers are regular. Because I'm a regular Joe that goes to work and come home, but I don't do that shit.
but I'm saying, like, in the case of they might not have public notoriety, these other people who's
All
in.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm thinking about, I'm worried about how many sheriffs, how many law officials that worked under these people, that these people put in the position that they in, that knew about this shit, that was giddy up with this shit. Like, oh, buddy, look, I got a little girl, around the corner from my house,
The main
that type of
thing,
dumb shit.
the main thing
No,
I think
I'm saying, like,
about when I seen stuff like this, I think about things that they say is conspiracy. When you have Alex Jones, that's when I started getting deeper stuff. When it was talking about Pizzagate, high
right?
up people in high places, it just busts open the ceiling. And then also something called adrenochrome, where
Adrenochrome.
they said they sacrificed these young individuals to live longer. And it might don't even
That's
have to
that
be,
adrenochrome.
yeah, it might don't even have to be anything dealing with often these people as sacrifice. Sacrifice could come in different forms. It could rituals. These rituals could come in different form, where you have these secret societies saying, "Hey, to be in this group or to accumulate this wealth, you got to do something strange for some
For a
change,
little change.
so we can keep an eye on you. If you turn your back on us, we gonna have something over you to expose you, to make sure that if you
You
do
stay in
what,
line.
yes, if you stay in line, you good.
Or you say
If
You
like
you
don't have
this.
to worry
don't,
about this coming out.
Hold on, because look at this, how the cookie crumbles, right? Because then you get hit up in these type predicaments, like these gentlemen that we just had on the screen, and now they do what Ghislaine Maxwell did. I can give you more people if you just cut my sentence down from life to 20 years with parole, with a shot of parole. I got you. I'll give you who you want. That's how they gonna keep. I'm telling you,
No, hold
it's gonna
on, hold on.
keep getting people.
When when some of these people are in jail, bro, they are still doing the same thing that they was doing outside of jail. They are
Right?
in low security prisons doing the same thing that they was doing in the free world. It's just that now we don't know, we know now that we're paying for them. We're taking care of them. Then when they out
Hey,
running around, we don't know that we taking care of them and furnishing their lifestyle. You feel
and
me?
remember with Epstein. Don't ever forget this, people. With Epstein, Epstein got to leave jail every day, except for on the weekends. And we're not talking about with a CEO or in chains or any of that. They let him straight up scot free, no supervision, and had to come back by
No ankle monitor.
no ankle monitor, none of that, no house arrest. And he was only he said it himself. on the other show where Henry played the tapes of the interview, he was only in jail on the weekends full time. He was spending 2 days a week in jail.
Yeah.
Man, shit, nigga. Man, if they let me do that to sell drugs, I go back to selling drugs. Shit, nigga, fuck. But they ain't gonna let me do that doing that. You know what I mean? Nigga, they gonna say I'm the worstest crook. I'm like Pablo Escobar. You feel me?
Listen, that's another one that we can't really get too deep into, but
You
that's
know,
part of the game,
it's
bro.
like,
That's
God damn, man. How is it that America it prides themselves on core Christianity beliefs, but you have all these foul people in the church, in the politics, in the schoolhouses, doing all this foul stuff to the youth, and we're not speaking out about it on a larger, massive scale. Well, you know, this should be headlines on national news every day. You know what I'm saying? Not Pookie and Ray Ray just shoplifted at Walmart because their food stamps was cut off.
yeah,
You
but
know
you
what I
know
mean?
what's funny, right? This is the thing. This is the whole thing about what you're saying, right? Is this is we're talking about Christianity right now. And Christianity's motto is you get what you pay for. You know what I'm
And
saying?
dealing with
As
the
the
converts out top. That's in the book. They
hey,
have a
that's
right.
hey Henry, hold on. That's let's be real with the people, right? That's why the converts got control of the Christians because they can cut them a check. I could cut you a check for $100,000 for your support. Would you support me? Of course you would. For the 100,000, all you have to do is support me. You don't even got to do anything other than say I'm with Israel.
And if you go
You're
But you
against
got,
that,
but all,
the pastor of the church.
but you see, we gotta understand that goes back to that. That goes back to the old Roman Greek mythology pantheon of Zeus coming down here sleeping with little girls, him coming down here sleeping with little boys. You know what I'm saying? Doing those things, and then we just go look. We're gonna change his name and throw a J in front of it, and it's all right.
Not only that, brother, then they cut you a check too. If you was the victim, they cut you a check to be quiet.
Man, don't that sound like prostitution to you?
It is. It is. It is. It is. It's a backwards way, though. It's backwards.
wait a minute,
Because
wait a
remember,
minute.
they're trying to
Let's remember. It was a guy named Abraham whose wife gave him the female slave.
A 12-year-old girl.
Yes. And then now let's skip Isaac, Jacob, who is called Israel, and go into a guy named Judah. That's one of the 12 sons. Judah also had a prostitute. It's in the Bible. It's in the religion. It's to conquer, destroy, convert, and manipulate, and to mess
exactly.
over
Remember something too in the
children.
remember in the medieval times too, before Martin Luther came, the Pope was accepting money to forgive sins.
Yeah, yeah,
So we already know they're about that life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
We do know that. I'm still tripped out. You know what I'm saying? When you got, here it is. We vote. Our vote don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So all my tax dollars go to bullshit that I don't condone. I don't agree with. It pays off pedophiles to pay off their victims. You know what I'm saying? And pay off large corporations to hide the shit. You know what I'm saying? Not to speak about it. My kids, man, I worry about my kids.
That's why you don't vote. I mean, nobody ever tells you this because America is a caste system, so they don't want you to get out of the caste system. If you don't vote, if you don't vote and you declare self-determination from self-representation, then you didn't consent to anything. You didn't consent to any of those people representing you individually or me individually because they don't have our name on them ballots. If they don't have your name on the ballot, that's why they be telling you, even if you don't want to vote, just go in there and make sure you cast your ballot because it doesn't matter who you voted for, like you just said, because they already got it pre-programmed. All they need is to be able to say XYZ voted in order to have the majority vote. They need you to vote in order to have the majority vote. If nobody votes, how do you win? How does the candidate win? They never answer that question in school. If nobody voted, how could the candidate win? The teacher's gonna be mad.
Me,
They're
my,
not gonna answer.
you know, yeah, they
Yes,
just,
we
man, it
dealing
just, you
with
know,
you could say a corrupt world, or you would say a cap system where on a pedestal, the highest up have more power, more leniency. They live in a world where their rules is different than you and I.
Yeah, but you're only in. That's why I'm trying to wake people up with the self determination, because you're not in the. If you are not participating in the caste system, you are not in it. Meaning, if you didn't vote, you are not in the caste system. You're independent from the caste system. Because what else?
I just don't understand. I also
Consent.
don't understand. I also don't understand like this. If somebody touch my kid, nigga, I'm blowing their head off. You feel me? I'm going to war. So a lot of this times it be sounding like these parents that be letting their 17-year-old daughter, they 16-year-old, they 14-year-old kid around these people be like, man, what are y'all doing?
You
Man,
got to think
how
about
did he get access to these people? You feel me?
what I just said earlier, bro. You get what you paid for. And what did Biggie say on the Ted Crack Commandments? Your mom will set that ass up properly gassed up. Right. So if that $100,000 check was gonna swing your way and you was in debt, massive debt, and that 100,000 will make you go from in debt to up or up a lot in your life. Now all of a sudden that these people is thinking like, hold on, because you got to remember we're talking about people who have no morality and no ethics. They're willing to sell out their family members to get paid, so they look good individually, right?
Yeah, that sounds like the next topic we gonna jump on.
Yeah,
So,
Henry, bring that out.
yes, here we go. The main topic. I was asking questions when I sent the link. Is it okay? Parents let them run around. Okay. Is it okay to hit elderly? Is it okay to beat up on pregnant women? People with disease or medical problems?
It's not
How do
okay.
you wait? How do you, the people, how do you feel if your child commit a crime? You get punished for it. You get the consequences of your child action. What is the purpose of family? This questions and more to come with this next part because there's some issue going on in Chicago. And it's not just Chicago, in many other cities. So we're gonna get into this topic, and then we're gonna discuss ahead.
It's hard to watch. Children circled a mother, then pinned her against a fence. Dragging the mother and her son to the ground, continuously beating them.
These children are going to have to live with this for the rest of their lives. And the children are our future, so it's not fair.
Police say it started when the 33-year-old mother, her young son, and daughter were walking near 106 and Bensley in the South Deering neighborhood. A group of kids then started chasing after them, calling them names and taunting them. Both the mother and son were beaten so badly they were taken to a hospital. Word of the attack spread quickly on social media, causing outrage among many parents. One day after the attack, demonstrators showed up at Orville T. Bright Elementary School after some posted on social media threatening to harm the children behind the attack. Several police officers showed up blocking the entrance of the school to protect kids inside. Shanice Davis lives in the neighborhood and says she recognizes the attackers.
This is not the first time the kids have done this. Just talk around the streets that these kids have pretty much been raising themselves and they have not been held accountable. They have vandalized cars. They have harassed adults and children.
To know and to find out even now that other families are affected by this. We're meeting families out here that their children been bullied and been beat on.
Chicago Police District Council member Joseph Williams was inside talking with the principal, the mother, and CPS administration.
Accountability is going to be key because if this has been going on, we need to make sure that principal be held accountable for her actions as well. This should have been documented. Parents should have been called to the school, and we got to make sure all around there is some type of accountability that's happening here.
Accountability. That is the word of this year. Accountability. My saying is this: family. The root word of family. Where family come from. What family really mean. Family mean servants or slaves. Why are you having a family? What is the purpose? A lot of people don't have purposes with family. They have relationships, have a child like an animal, and do not instill any values. And we dealing with an age where people calling themselves YNs, going amok. We seen in DC that Donald Trump authorized National Guard and also federal and local agents to clean the streets out. We have a pregnant woman with sickle cell. We got her statement, and we also got a statement of one of the, won't say accused, one of the suspects. We got a statement from one of the suspects because the person incriminated themselves when they came forward to apologize on social media. It's sad.
So let me ask you a question about it, right?
Yes.
Do you think this is individual students' behavioral problem, or do you think that it's a parental raising problem, like a parental guidance problem?
I believe that is both. One, I think individuals should take responsibility for their action, and also with the parents of rearing their children. It's just like you have a mother or a father who have one child and they don't spend hardly no time to coach their child through life. and want to have another child behind that. It's just like having pit bulls. You got one pit bull, and that pit bull running around biting people, and you want to get 5 more pit bulls in your yard. So if somebody walk in the neighborhood and your dogs get off, that's danger. If your dog bites somebody, you the owner are responsible.
Okay.
Why I'm laughing is because you equated kids to animals, right? And psychology does the same thing, right? You know, young kids are in a stage of animalistic nature, and they are maturing to become more of a domesticated animal. You know what I'm saying? A more well taught, rounded animal. So if you don't teach your animal not to bite, then your animal more likely to bite. Same way with these kids. You know, if you teach your child how to act and to conduct themselves, they're more likely to conduct themselves in a more proper manner, even if they're in a large crowd or a group of people. You know what I'm saying? Doing ridiculous stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there's always, I really believe it's the parents' fault. And when the parents also, you know what I'm saying, don't take responsibility for their little animal running around here, they should be held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't give neither one of them a break. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen a young lady apologize for getting caught and not really being remorseful for her actions of hurting this lady and her child. You know what I'm saying? Not recognizing these are human beings too. You know what I'm saying? This is not just a dog you was trying to fend off from you biting them. You know what I'm saying? This was a human being that you was attacking, a pregnant human being at that. You know what I'm saying? A mother at that. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine if that same child turns in on their mother and do that to their mother. Will we have the same audacity and the outrage that we would have for a stranger that this child doing this to? You know what I'm saying? That I try my best with my little 2 young ones. Hey man, that's not cool. Don't bully. Don't pick on people that are younger than you or handicapped or whatever. I try my best to teach that and instill that to them because I want them to have remorse. I want them to have mercy. I want them to have compassion for those less fortunate than them or those who are in a situation that they find themselves not in. To have compassion, right? Because I believe compassion is one of the most highest human emotion that you could have. You know what I'm saying? For other people. You know what I'm saying? It brings you more humanity than our enemy, our open enemy that don't have compassion for no one. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, what hurts me the most as well is these was African American children doing this to African Americans. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing this to no other race, no other group, but it's black people, black on black violence, man. This is Willie Lynch and the doctrine of Willie Lynch from the get go, man. That's what hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been out of slavery for over 100 and some years, and it seems like we're still in it. You know what I'm saying? A psychological slavery that is unmatched, that we hate our own skin color. We hate our own people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? That's what hurts the most.
Well, personally, I feel like, but I want to just first of all say I appreciate what you said because you're a parent. You're actually a parent. You know what I'm saying? So just from your own life experience of being a parent, so that's a different type of understanding, you know. But from what I was hearing, the parents need to be held accountable more than the children. From what I just heard in the video, because The officer said that these kids been bullying other people in the school too. Now that one person got the law enforcement involved. Now that lieutenant said that when they was interviewing people, they was finding out a lot of the kids been getting bullied by these people, and nobody said nothing. And and that means that the parents got to be held accountable, because that means the teachers already was informing these people's parents that they was doing this to the students. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, this is where I get in on it. I'm not going to get too deep into it because you already said basically everything I felt like saying, other than the parents got to be held accountable because they're the ones who are adults. They're liable anyway, regardless. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that are over 18, over 21. So then that means they're the ones who have to be liable for their children's behavior. So that means
No,
if they got to catch charges, then so be it. Because
don't
that's
get me
how it
wrong.
goes.
Don't get me wrong. I think both of their butts supposed to get locked up. The parent, because at our school in Cali, you feel me? My kids go to school in Cali, and we sign a no bullying slip with the kid. My kids signed it, and I signed it. I made my kids sign it, and I told them what it was and the meaning of it. You know what I'm saying? That we both are accountable for your actions. I'm taking responsibility for your action, and you're going to take responsibilities for your action. Right? Now you try to send me under the bus, we both going to jail, homie. We not going. And my kid's young, 7 and 6, and I still say, hey, the youngest kid that got the electric chair in the United States was 13. You feel me? In Florida for a murder that he didn't commit. You feel me? If they're young enough to go to jail and get what you call them, killed for it, man, every kid at that age, especially when you're doing the same thing at school, and then the teachers, the principals ain't jumping on the phone talking about, hey, we need to have a talk. You feel me? This the first warning we gonna give you. You feel me? The next warning we gonna send them people to your house. You feel me? Because you ain't taking responsibilities for your kid's action. You feel me? Or go pick up your kid at the juvenile jail, and while you're picking them up, the police will be arresting you too.
Right.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying?
Like, because that's not just responsibility. That's the parents have to get accountability too. That's why they would be arrested, because it's a liability. Think about it. The all them now, for example, that girl got jumped by all these kids. Her and her son had to go to the hospital, critical condition. So that means that all them parents and them kids is liable for the medical bills and pain and suffering. And not only that, if they can prove that, if that girl can prove that it's gross negligence because they wasn't raising their kids right, she's gonna be really getting a crazy check at the end. Because if your
Hey,
kids is 9 years old, you gotta think about it. Like people, like the who that was in the comment who said that earlier. Well, you gotta understand peer pressure in teenagers. These is not
that's
teenagers. These is
bullshit.
9-year-old. They're
They all jumping
9-year-old
off a
kids.
bridge. Yeah, they all
No,
jumping
but
off the bridge, and you telling them, "Oh, it's okay because your homeboy jumped off the bridge and killed himself. You should go ahead and do it too."
I'm saying it from the angle what Henry was saying. These is 9-year-old kids. So they might not understand the depth of the consequences of what they're doing.
But
They know what
but
they're doing physically in the moment, but they don't know what the results is going to be. What is the conclusion?
But the sad part about that is it had individuals outside of elementary in the 8th grade in middle school also joining into the activity. I feel
See, and
like people got to understand that there's consequences to everything. Having a child out of wedlock, having a child married, it's still consequences. It could be good consequences, bad consequences, but consequences to everything. So just like there's purposes of doing things. When you just do things off your animal instinct, you not aware, or you not putting yourself in a zone to understand the reason why.
Bro. I do not see deers out here doing shit like these niggas doing. Right? Excuse my French. You feel me? I do not see geese or ducks or chickens doing the stuff that these people doing. So let's not say animals. When you say animals doing this stuff, that's giving animals a bad rep. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to.
It's like you
There
trying to
people lower selves. Their
It's people
barbaric
who,
behavior. I'm gonna say barbaric behavior.
yeah, they're people who's just in low vibrational environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's it's hardly
I,
positive. It's no
all right, look,
positive
there was
reinforcement.
riding recently in my neighborhood in Cali. You feel me? There was a little while back, they was doing some riding, right? They was breaking in the stores, stealing jewelry, stealing electronics, and doing all. You know what I was doing? Walking my butt to work, passing them up, going to work, then look back and say, "Oh man, look, that's a free TV right there. That's a free jewelry. They going in the jewelry store. I could make a good loot out of that, right? I could get a little change from that. You know, everybody doing it. I might as well join in. Nah, you know what I was thinking? Let me go make my honest money. That's what they into. Let them do it. There ain't no peer pressure to me. Somebody did tap me and say, "Hey, bro, you ain't gonna get you none." No, I'm not, bro. I'm not gonna get me none. You feel me? That's not what I'm into. You feel me? I'd rather earn it the right way. So if somebody come back and say, "Oh, you got this and you got that," I know the consequence. You feel me? And you say, "Well, kids might not make those same choices." There are some kids that seen them doing that and kept on walking. There are some kids who said, "Nah, man, that's a woman, and she ain't even trying to fight y'all back. She just trying to protect her son. Look, she ain't even doing that. So why would I'ma go tag that woman?" You feel me?
Yeah, that's because those
We are
people
the
had good
highest,
guidance. They have good parental guidance. That's why they made
you
remember
know.
because we got to remember something that we always taught because we was all children at one point, right? So
Yeah,
we got to remember what we was all taught, right? And I'm not gonna say more anything about morality or ethics. I'm talking about purely this thing. One
your
decision.
instinct tell you you don't hit a pregnant woman.
No, I'm listening to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. In life, it's one decision. That's all you got. Because if you make that wrong one, it can affect you for the rest of your life. That wrong decision. In anything. I'm not just talking about the circumstance. I'm talking about in totality. We was all taught that as children. That if you do XYZ, the result is XYZ. And just like
Yeah, you
what's
gonna
the
get your butt whipped.
hold on, what's the main thing the majority of us learn first? Don't touch the stove, you're gonna get burnt.
Yes,
You see what
Let
I'm
me
yes,
that's that's life decisions. That's teaching you decision making ability.
let me
You're one decision away from going upstate. You're one decision away from the police taking you out of here. You're one decision away from working a CEO job. You're one decision away from hitting the lottery on the Powerball. Remember, it's all the same actual basic foundational method. It's you got to make the
yeah.
right decision in the moment.
let me let
But
me
there,
let me put this scenario out there. It's kind of ratchet, but I felt like I didn't want to talk about it. But let me talk about it. You got single mamas, single mothers who have friends, and some of these single mothers might go to the club or have a relationship with the neighborhood thug. All the women in the same neighborhood dating the same guy. One female find out, say, "Oh, this female pregnant from your baby daddy." That woman go out the house, go beat up the pregnant woman and drag her. The children see that. The children in the neighborhood see that type of behavior. Grown women fighting each other in the street, dragging in the street. They feel like it's
Bedtime, y'all.
okay. They
And
feel
let's
like
not
it's
forget
okay.
too, Henry, they see people jumping people every day too out here in the streets too, these kids. Because remember, the officer said in that, and not only the officer, but the principals both said that those kids come from neighborhoods where they lack parental guidance. Nobody's home. Nobody's
But
ever
no,
home.
hold on. Hey, let me ask you something. Good night, baby. Good night, Casey. All right, good night, y'all. All right, good night. I love y'all. Um,
So why you getting?
uh,
Yeah. What you was
so
gonna
what
say?
I was gonna, I'm sorry for the interruption. I was gonna say, man, that if we, when I was in some juvenile problems when I was younger, right? I like to put my hands on other people's children. You know what I'm saying? And beat them up. You know what I'm saying? And the judge asked me one day while I was in the courtroom, he said, "Hey, son, uh, answer this question. If you see a little baby walk into a light socket, what would you do? Would you let him stick his hand into the thing, or would you, try to grab him and stop him?" Right? I was gonna say, just being facetious with the judge. I was gonna say, yeah, let the baby fry itself. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't because I knew that was not the right answer to say. You know, I was gonna say, and I told him, I would grab the kid before he stuck his hand into the light socket and spank his hand and tell him, no, 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 don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with these kids. You feel me? They know right from wrong. They're not in the first grade. They're not kindergartners. They know the etiquette of going to school. They know how to walk to school and not pick on people. They know how it feels to be picked on. They know these things. We cannot just say, oh, they don't know. It's their first day on the earth. These are not toddlers. These are not infants. You know what I'm saying? If you say that they're being raised without a parent in the household, they do know don't cut on that gas stove and let it flood the apartment and spark up a match. You know what I'm saying? They know don't go rob a liquor store. What they did, they seen the weakest person on the block and they say, oh, pray. You know what I'm saying?
I
Let's
understand that you're correct with what you're saying, but you also have to remember, without anybody who's supervising them or guiding them in a everyday coaching manner, like Henry said about coaching them, you're not coaching. Yeah, so you got to remember, they think they're adults already. You know what I'm saying? So they see they see people who they look up to in the neighborhood jumping somebody because they got a problem or something
yeah,
happened, whatever, right? So they think in their
yeah.
mind, because they don't have a parent like you to say, hey, that's not right, don't do that, that they think, oh, this is how stuff gets handled. This is how we're supposed to handle it. Because that's what
So
they
that's why I say
observe.
that they parents and they butt should get locked up.
Right. I agree with you on that, but I feel like I feel like the kids should be held responsible, but the parents should also hold accountability and liability.
So let's
So
go into the next
liability as
video.
well. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Because to me, I'm like this. To a degree, yeah, liable. Yeah, each situation should
That's
be checked. You know what I'm saying?
settle it. It's gonna settle it. It's gonna settle it. If a kid from your neighborhood right now hit his baseball through the windshield of your car, are you making his parents pay for the windshield?
Yeah.
I might pay for that windshield.
See, you're
I
different
might
because
have to pay for that windshield because you know why? Because 9 out of 10, he in my neighborhood, they might can't afford it. You feel me? Yeah, he broke my windshield and his mama or his daddy should pay for it, right? But unfortunately, they might not be able to afford that windshield. You know what I'm saying? And that would put them into a worse situation, right? A worse
I
situation
was
that he
gonna say,
find themselves in. And that means I might have to come out my pocket, unfortunately, for another kid that ain't even mine.
and that's why you got to understand you have to teach your kids liability too, because the majority of people in America, if you ask them that question, they're gonna answer you just as quick and just as emphatically as Henry did. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna make them pay. The parents pay for that windshield. Hell yeah, I'm gonna make them pay for the window in my house. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows if you can afford it as the person that's getting their stuff broke.
Yeah, you right.
What if you can't afford it? And
So let's
You right.
move
you
into
don't
the
run into
next video, and we're gonna
you
resume
be
from
liable
there.
because what about if you have to make a claim to the insurance now to get the windshield fixed? Now you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna tell you to get a police report. If you get a police report for it, now the kid's going to jail. Because if
So
they
let's
can't
go
afford it,
into
well,
the.
how the system works. If you can't pay, then you gotta go to do that time.
Let's see the statements from the individual, the victim in this situation.
My son he's very devastated. He'll wake up out of him in the middle of his sleep, screaming. He'll scream, "Mommy, are you there?"
Hatter says her 9-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter are traumatized after watching their mom get attacked by a group of kids. In this video, we've blurred the faces of those involved because they're all minors. We've stopped it after she was dragged to the ground because of how brutal it is. Her son was beaten, and she says one of the kids pulled her daughter's hair. Her daughter stood off to the side crying, watching her brother and mother get attacked.
I felt helpless because I was down on the ground, and he was down on the ground, and he's looking at me screaming like, "Mommy, please help me, help me." I couldn't get up myself. I couldn't do nothing.
She's 6. She has sickle cell. So I guess they seen a little weakness in her because she's, kind of walking a little slow. And they have no right to put their hands on an adult.
That's her partner, Devon Lee, who was at work when the attack happened. Hatter went on to tell me that her son has been bullied for the past 2 years at Orville T. Bright Elementary School because of the way she walks and talks. All of the results of her sickle cell disease. Hatter tried to talk to the school about the bullying, but she says they didn't do anything about it. Yesterday, a large group of parents came to the school to show their support for the mother and to put an end to bullying. The community immediately stepped in and moved her out of South Deering and into an undisclosed location.
Oh, and
Henry, this
another
is kind of
factor that
wild,
play
bro.
part, and I will not
What you
excuse
doing?
it. It is
No,
the
it's like
school.
this, though.
I'm gonna mute your mic.
Go to the video.
We is witnesses that the individual informed the school several times. The neighborhood knew. The school did not take the appropriate measure. And
2 years.
sometimes school can't prevent things from happening outside of school.
No way that stuff works.
Yeah, but the
So, so
school.
you, so can I ask you a question? So
Yeah.
your view is that both of y'all. I just want to ask the question: do y'all both feel that the school is exempt from any reliability or any responsibilities for 2 years? This lady has pleaded with the school for them to leave her kids alone, and they could constantly do at school.
No. Okay, that's
No, no, the school have responsibility. When I was in school, they had resource officers. These officers could have reports, profiling different behavior, dealing with different individual children, speaking to these individuals and their parents. See, some of these parents might be working a piece of part-time job, might be working a little job at Walmart that take a lot of their time away from their children, but you have the school that can inform the parents of the type of behavior that they got reported. If the school not telling the parent or the neighborhood's not telling the parents don't know.
I'm gonna
If the
say
school had
that
information as the type of behavior their child is conducting themselves, the school could inform the proper authority.
I feel like it's a two-sided coin
Aaron.
because 50%, I would say yes, the school is accountable because not because of what Henry said, but because legally they make you sign that policy slip page 2 for your kids to go to school, which says that possession is 9/10 of the law. So when your kids is at school, they're in the possession of XYZ school system. So therefore, it's the school system's responsibility to execute the policies that's in the handbook, legally speaking. But from a liability standpoint, and of the rights of the individual, the principal, teachers, and etc. If they wasn't hired to do law enforcement activity in their job description, then therefore they are not outside of their contract to not do anything. Because doing something would put them outside the bounds of their contract, therefore avoiding their contract, costing them their job.
Yeah, I also feel like this. If you gonna look, I got big issues with the school system in general, right? It's a lot of problems with it, and it needs to be reformed, especially for the African American community as a whole across this nation. You know what I'm saying? The the reasonings for schooling to babysit our kids, and teach them how to go work for someone else ain't really working, and to get into debt for college that is not working. But if you gonna help my kids, at least teach them some civics and morals.
Hey, don't say that college is not good. We have to be
I'm not saying
specific.
college ain't good because
All right.
it's required. It's
Remember,
good. It's good.
what you're saying is 100% right. But I'm saying we can't leave out the loophole, because remember that's the part they don't want us to tell people is the loophole. Because how do you get out of that cycle, right? If you go to college, there's only one thing, maybe two things that you should be going to college for. And that's for medical or judicial. If you're not going to school for something medical or something judicial, like a lawyer or
Not since
law
the
enforcement,
AI out. The
you're not
judicial is
doing
about to
anything.
the judicial is about to be obsolete.
Bro, a lot of stuff's about to be obsolete with the AI.
You
Let's
know
be
what I'm saying?
honest.
Not since the AI out, that motherfucking judicial shit. And then when I seen the video of China, a whole hospital with nobody in it but patients and robots, AI
Yeah,
running
but
the whole hospital.
you gotta remember something, right? You gotta remember something. The United States is never gonna be like China in the effect of 100% compliance totality, because the United States don't work like that, because capitalism wouldn't work like that. They gotta let the people who make the checks, like the surgeons, the regular doctors, because remember, like even now, they changed the Chat GPT. It cannot give you medical advice anymore. It cannot give you
Shit, mine
anything.
do. But
That means
mine do
that
a disclaimer afterwards.
whatever it's telling you is not deemed medical advice. Whatever that's telling you is not medical advice. It's not telling you, oh, individually you should do X, Y, Z. If your doctor said to do this, that, and the third, and ChatGPT told you to do X, Y, Z, and then say you didn't listen to the doctor, you listen to ChatGPT, you start getting better, and then the doctor's wondering how, because they was trying to get you locked into the medical complex. The machine is not going to get you locked into the medical complex. The doctor is going to tell you, look, bro, I'm sorry to say you got cancer, and you don't even got cancer, but they're just telling you this because they want to get you in the payrolls. They want to get them rolls coming in, the monies. Oh, you think because now they give you some fake test result saying that you got XYZ cancer, and now they got you coming in every week, twice a week, to get chemotherapy, even though you don't need the chemotherapy. That's why a lot of people in the medical don't get a second opinion either, which is a right. That's not even a policy. That's a right. Yeah, that's an individual right you have. Is you can ask for a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion,
Yeah,
and
but
you could go.
most people are afraid of that damn medical bill. That's why they don't want to look. Once they see that first medical bill of that nigga hitting them with all them damn tests, they don't want to go to the state doctor with all them tests, and then he come back and say, "Oh well, you know, the first one he was kind of fucked up. You know, he looked at your pH levels and was like, you just needed to drink some more water."
Think about what you just said, and that's what they do because they know you won't do that. That's how they get you. It's a psychological operation. It's part of the brainwashing of it. Just like me and Henry was talking about in the other show about how the petroleum products make the medicine, make the medical equipment, and all of that. So the hospitals is keeping the petroleum in business. The petroleum is keeping big pharma in business. The hospital is keeping big pharma in business. XYZ, bro. Why
Yeah,
would
so
they not?
it's a circle.
Why would they not want you taking their medication that everybody that's on the board of the hospital, all of the investors in the hospital, all of the stakeholders in the hospital, all of the doctors is invested in petroleum? Why would they not want to put you on the machine if you're healthy? Why would they not want you to have to keep coming back to the doctor every month to pay them?
And looking at
Think about
it, while we talking about medical, one of the main key thing I learned all the way in elementary was about sickle cell. That's like the first time I got introduced into genetics, that they showed the different blood relation of sickle cell. Somebody can have sickle cell and they could be dormant. It can have a child and they can have like 3 children. One of the child could be dormant, the other one, the sickle cell could be active, and another one might don't even have it. You dealing with a woman who has sickle cell, that's blood. That's dealing with blood, anemia, and if that person gets sick or injured in a particular way, that considered death, a death sentence. So
Yeah,
we have
platelets
So
though.
children.
you saying them little bad kids should be charged with attempted murder on the fetus and on the mother?
It
You
can
wouldn't be
go
able.
up there.
You can't
I'm not
charge.
a law professional, but it could get there.
It wouldn't be able to charge. You wouldn't be able to charge those children of those young ages with those charges you just presented. You would only be able to charge it to the one accountable, not the one responsible. That's where liability comes in with the parenting. That means that your kids is under the age limit of being able to charge them with that type of charges. Remember, that's 12 years old and up. You got to be 13 years old in order to be charged with murder. You cannot be charged with murder if you're under 13. And then at that point, they also got to go into the grand jury to see if you could be charged as an adult or you got to be charged as a juvenile. So it's still going to be, it's still levels. You know what I'm saying? So the parent is going to, if they're going to charge anybody with attempt murder, it's going to be the parents. And if it's an attempt murder on the parents, the sub charges, meaning the underlying cause of the, because you know they gotta have probable cause to arrest you for that, is gonna be gross negligence. You didn't teach your kids. That's gross negligence in the attempt murder, meaning that you yourself didn't try to commit the murder, but you neglecting to raise your child correctly is what was the cause and effect. Probable cause. That's how the law works. That's why you gotta pay attention to that type of stuff. That's why when you ask the police when they pull you over, do you got probable cause? They say the first thing they want to say is I smell weed, even if it ain't been no weed ever smoked in the car.
You know
Because
what
they
I
need a
tell them?
reason.
You know what I always tell them? You smell your mama pussy.
Well, you can't tell the police that because you gotta be careful. They'll
Yeah, I
try to
do.
arrest you.
I tell them that. And you know what they always tell me? Mr. Williams, you might well, you know what I'm saying, step out the car, let us search. I don't give you permission to.
Yeah, but what
You
state are
know,
you in again?
I'm in California.
Yeah, but that might be reasonable within the law in California. In the state of Rhode Island, when you sign for your license, it says in the wording on the application that if the police pull you over, that they have the right to pull you out the car if you're the driver.
Oh, all right. They don't have
That
that here.
you already pre-agreed on that license. You already pre-agreed on that when you got your license.
So
Yeah, nah.
before we go any further,
Right? You know what I mean? Like media terms and agreement.
before we go any further, this is for the people on the live and the people who want to get to this time frame on the video. Please hit the like so other people will be able to find this video and get the knowledge that we are sharing. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the like. They're going to help the algorithm push our live video to other people. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, hit that bell and hit notification, hit all. So when a short hit, when a live video hit, when we upload a video, you be the first to see it. We is growing at a level that we would like it to be, but with your help, we could get more people to view our content. We is at 1,182 subs. We aiming for that 2,000 mark. From the 2,000 mark, we trying to make it to 1,000,000. Our information is Newsroom 16.1. News mean never end the work and service. So this video that I have up right here is one of the teenagers apologizing. This young lady mother, you could say, embarrassed her, put her on Front Street, made a public apology, whatever you call it. They went to social media, and then we got this video. So let me put it up. Get it right.
I've got a Lucy Calico's neck plan. Well,
on yesterday.
I'm sorry about that. It was on mute. So let me play it.
I want y'all to meet Kamira. She is one of the children that was a part of the fight at OT Bike School on yesterday. We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability. I won't say too much. And please, anyone that decides to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
The only respectful thing that I can say is take accountability.
Now you're talking crazy.
Hey, my name is Kamira Grant. I was wrong.
It's okay,
I was wrong for everything that I did. And I was just being a follower, following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got. And I apologize for everything because I wasn't going to be in that situation. And I feel bad because
it's okay.
I got to go through so much. I wish I would never did what I did.
Do you have anything to say? I think her name is Shauna.
I was a bit people think somebody I'm not.
Before we go further, do y'all have anything to say about what's been seen?
Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick. Two things, right? Because I'm not gonna be biased in this situation. I'm gonna be unbiased, right? Because I gotta support the mom in this circumstance, but at the same time, I feel that she's out of order, she's out of line. And this is a thing in the melanated community that's hard right here, right? Because you gotta know the thin line between the veil, right? So we already know this is 101. This is evidence. This girl's going to jail. She just admitted on camera. She just confessed to everything she did, and it's a legal statement because she said her full name. So it's a legal contract. That's legally binding. So a lot of people, before they go to the internet, clout chasing or thinking they're embarrassing their kids into not doing stuff like this again, they got to think of the legal ramifications too of what they're doing. Because in a legal case right now, this little girl's going to jail. If they bring this to court on this girl with charges, she's gonna have to plead no contest because they got her confessing right now on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
And her mama supporting.
And the mom is the one that made her do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the mom is wrong for disciplining her child. She's 100% in the right for that. But she should have had her
Cause she
apologize to
ain't.
that.
I don't think she disciplined her.
She should apologize. If they was gonna apologize, they should have had to apologize to that lady up at the hospital. Personally. Right? That's a real parent move, right? So we already know this is a clout. This is number one, it's a clout chasing move. Number two, this lady is sacrificing her child because now if this little girl got to go to juvenile detention for assault charges, which it's going to be no contest because she gave a better confession right now than she could have in the police interrogation room. That was a confession. You know what I'm saying? And we all know we've been in the criminal justice system. And we know you got to be like, you know what I'm saying? You can't say nothing about nothing. You got to let them, whatever
But
they.
what I don't know if y'all noticed. I don't know if you noticed the smirk on the mama face.
Yeah, because she's clout chasing. She's trying to get
That's what hurt me the most.
These people are different, bro. They're different. They use this is something that I've seen this psychologist talking about from all these people who they've been doing these, you know, the interviews and sessions with in general, because you know they can't talk about individuals, but they can talk as a trend or individually statistically, right? And they said that right now the majority of people statistically don't care if they're getting in trouble or anything like that. They're using the opportunity to try to get clout off the internet and become famous, whether it's good things or bad things. They're trying to use it to be that thing that boosts them. Because remember, think about different people we know that's celebrities and they're rich now, like Blueface or Krishan and people like
Nah,
that.
man, I'll go to Kim Kardashian. What's she famous for?
Right, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. Is that it doesn't matter if it's a positive or a negative impact. They don't care. They want to just get famous takes. They want to get rich today. They think that because that they're gonna be remembered for this. Oh, that you made your kid apologize on the internet. That's what them parents is thinking in their mind, and you could tell because the little girl keeps looking off camera, not at the mom, but to somebody behind the camera that's coaching her. You can see it on her eyes if you watch it. If you know people's body language, and you could tell because she gets that face on. She doesn't always have that face on, but she gets that face on that kids get when you're telling them they got to do something and how to do it. She had that face on like she's trying to comprehend, but at the same time, she don't want to do it. Because she was
Then
acting
you
like she didn't even.
Then you're peer pressure. If you worried about peer pressure, just imagine when you go back to school and all your friends gonna tell her, "Oh, girl, you snitched on us. You snitched on yourself. You know, you ain't really mean to do it. You know, these are the things that they be going through, and that's really a very demonic spirit, man."
Not only that, look at the psychology that she used to justify her action. And I'm not talking about with the violence. I'm talking about with the apology. She said because
right about them fake tears.
Because what I got. I'm sorry for doing what I did because I'm risking what I got. Which means that she's not really learning the lesson. She just knows that the way that she's living is not going to be like that if she gets in trouble for this. She knows that part. That's the part that's clicking. But the part that's not clicking is that she's not supposed to be out here fighting with adults or jumping people.
jumping anybody, I ain't supposed to do that. Now I could see if they was doing something wrong. Now if you was turning around helping that lady defend herself and them kids from other people attacking them, I can understand it. You feel me? Then you be on the side of righteous. You be on the side of justice. You be on the side of doing the right thing, defending the wrong and the weak. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not defending the weak and you're trying to be the oppressor of the weak and you're also being oppressed, you know what I'm saying? You know better. You know what I'm saying? You know better than the oppressor, man. We got too much of that in our community.
They're raising kids to be supervillains out here. That's why. A lot of these
Like
people,
Clint said in the 90s, super predators.
like, I don't even know if I would call them predators because that's not really what they are. They're not predators because even predators got codes. You know what I'm saying? Predators don't. The lion don't just maul every animal that comes in front of them. Remember, even predators got codes. We're talking
Yep.
about super villains, straight out, like my man said on the Bruce Lee movie, Jim Kelly. Man, this something straight out of a comic book. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
These straight
Jim
out of
Kelly said it.
villains,
Shout
straight out
out
of
to
a.
Jim Kelly.
But see, that's why it's important what you said to teach kids to be heroic, because then, like you said, there would have been kids who was outside after school who would have jumped in it and stopped it. Because remember, if the crowd of kids that was stopping it was bigger than the crowd of kids that was doing it, the crowd of kids that was stopping it would have stopped them. They would have stopped doing it.
Well,
But you
while we
already knew.
using metaphor, I say this: controversy sell. Most
Right.
people want to be in controversy than actually the solution.
That's why, listen to me. We might down certain faiths because we might not necessarily agree with the wholesale ideal of them, but they do instill morals and values that are conducive to a better society. You know what I'm saying? You take prayer, the silent meditation out of school, and you forget God, a supreme being, out, then what are you replacing them with? You know what I'm saying? What are you replacing them with? And just recently, you know what I'm saying? I had to go through my kids and make them stop saying 6-7. You know what I'm saying? Causing demonic spirits to come up. You know what I'm saying? When we got performers that are witches and warlocks, you know what I'm saying? They strongly believe in their religion. They strongly believe in Satanism. They strongly believe in Santa witchcraft. Now, I'm not saying all these people that practice these belief systems are evil and wicked, but the majority of them are. I'm not saying all of them out here doing wicked stuff, but there are a lot of them promoting wicked things.
You
You know
gotta
what I'm
see it. We
saying?
gotta see it. It is right. All magic, religion, technology, spirituality, psychology, science is at the intent of the user.
Yup.
It's what your intent with it. Because people could say that a Buddhism, if they're Christian, is witchcraft, but the Buddhist could be more righteous than the Christian is.
You sure right?
So how is it witchcraft? Because it's one of those things in life, right? Because I believe in the 10 Commandments, right? And I believe in the 10 Commandments because I believe in the Creator God, the creator of all things. But at the same time, I know the most basic lesson of the creator of all things. Cause and effect, follow the rules. Right? Thou shalt, you don't got to go into the first 4 commandments necessarily if you don't believe in the creator. I'm not saying that part. I'm saying, even though that's covered in the Constitution, First Amendment, right? But it's also covered in the Constitution, First Amendment, that I don't have to practice none of that too. I don't have to believe in that either. But guess what
To
comes
me,
next?
I watch people that don't practice those things be morally corrupt. You know what I'm saying? People that don't practice the Ten Commandments, that don't have a foundation of a higher supreme being, that don't have a sense of justice, that don't say, hey man, you know, it might be something that will restrict me, some higher force that is governing the universe, and they are not just benign. They not just sitting back and just letting anything happen. They gonna eventually do something to me. That I gotta be held accountable for all my actions. The energy that I put out there is going to come back to me, some form or somehow. You know what I'm saying? If I don't
And
get it now, I'm eventually get it.
that's why, see, now what you just said is the spiritual aspect. And now we got to bring it into the physical for people to have a greater understanding of what's going on. That's why you have to follow the law. That's why they gave an instruction. Nobody said you got to follow the story. The stories. You got to live like the stories in the Bible.
Yeah.
Nobody said you got to live like the stories in the history book. Nobody said you got to do any of those things that you've seen anybody in your life do, except for following the law. If you don't want the appropriate karma to come back upon you for what you do. Because remember, as you do good karma, as you do good things, you get dharma back, karma back. That's in a positive fashion. Just like, for example, if you donate the uniforms to the neighborhood football team so the Pop Warner team could play football this year. You know, if they win the Super Bowl, you're going to get credit on that because you as a person did a charity work. You wasn't relying on that, obviously. You just wanted the kids to be able to play football. But you're going to get notoriety. Everybody in the neighborhood's going to know that you was the one who helped those kids be able to play football.
Man, look, I love your analogy right there because I'm gonna give you a benign benefit, a benefit you most people might not see. I'm getting these kids to do something better with their time. I'm giving them an opportunity to get out of the streets and do something constructive with their life. One of these kids might grow up and be somebody that gives back as well. You know what I'm saying? I might get this kid out of a bad situation that they find themselves in. That's just good. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if I get any recognition for it or not, I help someone out. To help other people is some of the greatest things as humanity, as humans, we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's why slavery was so bad. Because you're not helping nobody, then you hurting somebody.
So
I'm just, if you do, like you were saying though earlier, is if you do a negative effect, you get a negative consequence, or it builds up until you get the negative consequence, right? Karma. But on the other hand, I was just saying that it's the opposite effect on the other side too. When you do good things happen for you. You know,
Yeah.
if you take care of people, then it's supposed to be people, the people you took care of, if you're in need, is supposed to take care of you. Because when they was
Now this,
in that circumstance, you was the one who was their support system. This is where we were
yeah,
talking about earlier in the show with the family part, right? That's the whole point
yeah.
of community. That's what we've lost in the 2025.
Now this little girl name is gonna be out here forever. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? She got to deal with this for the rest of her life, being the little girl who beat up on the sickle cell lady and the little slow kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she gonna be like that for the rest of her life, bro. That's what we gonna notice her for. Anytime you hear that name, they gonna think about that. Everybody gonna know about that. Her teachers gonna know about that. Her high school professors gonna know about that. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime when she's grown and the police run her name, they're gonna know about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Soon when they, you
So you
alleged
know
to beating this person up? Yeah, you did it. You did
you
it. We know you
not only
did.
not only that, I wasn't even saying it like that. I was saying it from the aspect of like she could be 35 years old, get pulled over on a routine traffic stop, and then they run her name and they remember her name and they say, yo, look, get out the car because we know you gotta know you got weapons in the car, you have a history of known violence.
So
Yeah,
now,
you've been known to be a violent young lady all your life.
community, community, community. The community come together once everything hit the fan. That don't need to be.
So what's
That
the
it should.
solution? Back to school? No, man. We need to start posting parents every intervals on the way to school, making sure these kids go to school, make sure that they ain't bullying people on their way to school, making sure parents are safe to check these little bad kids at the same time. You know what I'm saying? As well as be willing to be able to defend parents and children on their way to school. You know what I'm saying? So that takes a
Yeah,
lot from the community, but it has to be done.
remember Henry said that it's got to go back to like back in the day when we was up in school where they had them resource officers over there, the people who are legally able to put their hands on you. They can go hands on with these kids, and they've been trained to do that in order for them to be able to prevent situations like this. Because, like I was reading in the news article, they said, I don't know why the principal didn't jump in and try to stop him. The principal would have got jumped too.
No,
So
oh
you
no,
have
no. I seen where a teacher beat up this little boy at school the other day. Yeah, the teacher got fired, but the kid had a black eye,
Yeah, but
a busted
listen,
lip.
but see, that's one of the things why it's a liability. Why you think the principal didn't jump in right now? Because if the principal
Yeah,
would
you're
have,
right. That's a liability.
I said earlier about the contract, that voids their contract if they put their hands on the students because they're not law enforcement trained individuals. Just like, for example, in retail, right? In retail, if you're not a security officer or loss prevention, you're not allowed to put your hands on anybody in the store. Meaning that if you take
Even as a
something,
security officer, you're not allowed to put your hands on the person.
but law enforcement is allowed. Those
Yeah.
people who specifically trained and licensed, because remember, to be a security, you got to have that license, which means that they trained you.
Yep. Yeah.
They trained
I'm
you.
I'm a security officer in Cali. You can't put your hands on them people.
Right.
You have to observe and report.
Cali's different too because you have to have a different license to be able to put your hands on people.
I'm like
Yep.
this.
That's what
It
I'm saying. You have
all
that security officer, you have to have more education, more qualifications to be able to do such things, right? Just like in Cali and most other states, you have to get a whole nother certificate plus a license to carry a firearm on you when you're doing security.
Yep.
I'm
You know
like
what I'm saying?
this. It
So
all go back to family. You have some parents who put their children in different activities and monitor their children and is aware of the behavior of other children. Not every small detail, but understand that, hey, I was a child before. They got kids out there that doing all type of stuff without their parents knowing it. I don't want my kid associating with that type of behavior. And this this lady with this daughter of her is in this predicament because this young lady address several issues like I'm in cheerleader, I'm in this, I'm presented with all these opportunities, but I still decided to join in the flea circus.
Then I guess these babies better form a posse and bust them out.
So let's go into the next piece of this video.
I'm the chief executive. I don't do things I criticize the way others do things.
Well, you got to realize that a lot of the times,
I think
right?
everybody, we've all seen the video.
Able to
Everybody's
accountability
been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely
Wait,
there,
what you said?
and we're all on the same accord that it was.
The mother is trying to skip out of the liability part by trying to go right to apologizing, because I feel like they know they're going to end up in court, at least, because I'm not saying that they're going to charge these kids criminally, because it doesn't look like it based on what I was reading in the articles. It doesn't look like they're going to charge anybody criminally for this. But at the same time, I guarantee you it's going to be a civil lawsuit about the medical bills. It's going to be a civil lawsuit. So these parents is going to end up paying. It's very important that we understand that. That's why I said this is kind of clout chasing right now, because what she's trying to do is she's trying to jump to the conclusion by having her daughter apologize, not realizing that now she's on the line 100% with a confession for the liability of the medical bills and the pain and suffering. They're gonna be on the line.
Then what a daddy is. You know what I'm saying? What a daddy is.
He's behind the camera, likely.
I don't think there's a father in this picture. So let's see
it
more
don't
of
matter.
this video.
You know, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? What a daddy is. You know, well, you know, both of them. She had two parents. She got two parents.
Just because you have a child don't make you a parent.
Yeah, it does. It might not make you a good one, but it makes you a parent.
Right.
You know, just because you know, you know, I could say this. I have an older son, right, and I was not there in his life, majority of his life, but I tried to be there for him, you know, and try to instill to him that I love him, I care about him, and to do the right things and be a good person and so forth, you know. But now he's an adult, you know what I'm saying? And he's responsible for himself now, you know. But when he was younger, the CPS let me know, hey man, you're responsible for this kid until he turned 18. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you was there for him or you weren't there for him. Now you're responsible for him. He's your responsibility. He's in your home. Regardless if he wasn't in your home, once you took the responsibility for him, he's your responsibility. So if he go do something messed up, you're liable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild, bro. And it's wild that you say that, because what they said that the school that all these kids go to is a CPS school. So that means them kids is already there because of behavior disorders and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So and to me that makes me think twice about what Henry said. How you got a school full of kids that's behavior disorder, but you got no security or law enforcement officer knowing these kids is behavior disorder. And I'm not saying to lock them up in jail or anything like that, school to prison pipeline type stuff. I'm talking about people
Hold up. If you already doing school to prison pipeline, that's what they gonna do anyway.
They're gonna throw you in the bin.
But
If they was doing that in this circumstance, this girl would be in jail right now. This little girl that confessed. If they was gonna
And
do
then
that.
then it makes the city Chicago even look even worse. So it already look bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's always, people walking by or people seeing this action, somebody driving by in the car, watching this happening to this pregnant woman. They don't want to involve themselves in it because they don't know what these kids might have or don't have. A knife could be drawn, a gun could be pulled. You know what I'm saying? If the lady would have shot one of them little kids, what would the headline be?
Yep.
Pregnant black woman shoots little kid.
You're all the way on point with that, bro. That lady would be getting
You know,
crucified now on the news for shooting a
she
little
was,
kid.
her screaming the whole time. It was self-defense. It was self-defense. I'm trying to protect me and my kid and my unborn kid from these hoodlums, these thugs, these special need kids.
But guess what? Guess what? Legally, guess what? I'm going to go back to what I said originally when you asked me the question earlier about the accountability of the school, right? In the policy handbook, it says that no weapons is allowed on school premise by anyone unless it's law enforcement. That's it. Unless it's law enforcement. So if you as the parent shoot one of them kids at the school on the school grounds or on the way home, because remember, on the way home, until they cross the threshold of the door of the house, the school is liable for their well-being. That's why they're looking into these folks. That's why the police is doing this massive investigation, because they're trying to see, the police, they're trying to see who they can arrest. They ain't worried about nothing else. They're trying to see who they can arrest.
Because they get paid for the arrest.
But remember, anybody who gets involved with weapons, so say if you would have shot the kid and she's talking about self-defense, it's no self-defense because the school has a zero tolerance weapons policy. Zero tolerance. So that means you going to jail.
Look, I am a little bit more radical because I told him, man, look, if she would have shot one of them little kids, I would have understood. I've been rooting for her to get all charges dropped, her to go home to her old man and her kids. If she would have dropped a few of them little kids with a toolie and let them lay down there, I guarantee you, her kids wouldn't have got bullied for the rest of the school year and the school years to come.
So let's
listen to
finish some more of the video.
We want, I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak. We do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak because she's a child. What grade are you in, Kamara?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
A's and B's, and I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team.
Man, I went to jail in the 8th grade for beating up another kid.
I know I'm a better person than what I was yesterday, and I can make a difference.
You will make a difference.
So no, I was wrong when I did it. She was wrong for doing it.
So whoever laughing, whatever that's about, I want y'all to know that this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves. So we want to make sure that we check that and that we be present, and that those people that are not on the ground, those people that are scared of our young kids.
I had to pause this real quick. There's some people in this world, especially in the United States, it's okay with abortions. Why? They don't even have kids themselves, but why? Because they feel like some parents should not be parents at all. Some people is not meant to have children. Family means serving the community, serving the family as a unit.
I don't need an excuse to stop hugging you.
Yes, this child make all A's.
The mom in this predicament, this mom right here, she is not having her daughter have responsibility. She said be present, that for all of us, the external, to be present in ourselves. Having that little girl understanding the consequences of her actions is being present. Holding her accountable to the truth is being present. Holding her accountable for her behavior is being present. We are not her parent, but as a society, we all can watch that video and see that that's wrong. As a society, that's wrong. If that was, think about it right now. If that lady right there was the one who got jumped and beat up, would she still be feeling what she's saying right now? Would she be feeling that the way that they're apologizing and trying to justify what happened? Would they feel that's appropriate? That's what they're not doing.
So.
They're not putting themselves in the position. They're putting themselves in the present circumstance of I got all this stuff to lose, so don't let me lose it. Don't let me lose it because I beat up some lady. No, you got to realize if you're in the 8th grade, which means that you was one. To be honest with you too, Henry, and your brother. To be honest, if she was in the 9th grade, she would be in jail right now, off rip.
No, if she was in Louisiana, she'd be locked up right now behind bars. I grew up in the deep, dirty South. And in Louisiana, I beat up a kid for something lesser, and I was locked up.
And in most of the states, you're going to jail because remember, the school to prison pipeline starts in high school, the 9th grade. So the 9th grade is the first grade where they hold you accountable for your own behavior and they can send you to jail off rip for fighting in high school.
Now we had no tolerance, and they send you to jail if you fight. Don't matter what grade you in, you're going to jail.
Right, but in liberal states, they're not going to be putting elementary school kids in jail.
But
yeah, I don't know nothing. I don't. That's Chicago. I don't know what their laws is out there, but she should go to jail. Her and her mama.
So let's go more into the video.
That we get out here and we touch them, that we let them know that we hear, that we got something to say, that we care about them, that they have more resources than they know, and that we are available to them.
And know that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise all these kids. This is not just one person's fight. This all, and I want you to know, Kamara, this is not all on you. You taking your responsibility of the role that you played in this. And she know the role that she played in this. And I want y'all to know that this is not the kid that she is, nor will she let the internet turn her into a kid that y'all gonna try to say she is. So we are cooperating with investigation, or whatever needs to happen will happen.
And I think we had a pretty honest conversation today, right? Yeah. And you understand, like, it's okay to be smart. You're smart. You get A's and B's. You're the captain of the cheerleading team. You was homecoming queen. You don't have to be bad just because you think it's cool.
What homecoming she presided over?
Right?
The thugs and the gangsters?
You are wrong.
The misfits?
This is not your end all be all. You can come back from this.
Crazy.
And you will come back from this.
You will come back from this. And everybody, like, give these parents and these kids, let's give them, the kids, a little grace. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Huh?
This is an issue in our
Somebody.
community. This is why the term a village, it takes a village. It's a lot.
Do they understand what that mean when they say it takes a village? That means
Look,
when they was young that they would have two parents, grandparents, aunties and uncles. You know what I'm saying? Everyone connected around them, participating in their upraising.
Right. That's
how
how
I
I
see,
know. I know that my
I
lifetime.
don't see no father. I don't see no male figure. All I see is a group of women saying contradicting statements, saying she's not all the way to blame, but she take her part. She all the way to blame
Only
for
one thing
her
I can say
behavior.
about that part. There's only one thing I can say about that, Henry, right? They said that she's not who the internet says she is. The internet is not saying it. Her actions in the video is. We're
Yes.
assessing her behavior pattern. We're not. It would be one thing if people was telling us, like, "Oh, this girl did this, that." We seen the malice. We seen it. It's malice with malice. You know what I'm saying? If people understand vocabulary, you know what I mean when I say with malice. That means it was an evil intent. It was an intent to do evil on that lady. You was already beating up her son. She wanted to
It
protect
seemed
her
like
son.
the
She
village
started
that she
fighting her.
hang out with, yeah, the village that she hang out with does things like this. Like Henry said, she seen her mama do stuff like this. Pick on
And you,
people and fight on people.
hey, listen. You ain't wrong because guess what? The actions speak louder than words, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Right?
Yeah, so right.
It's
Well,
only
fellas, it's
one
getting
little
late for
girl.
me. I'm
Hold
about
on, listen.
to.
It's important. There's only one little girl here who is involved. But since we started watching this video, I seen 5 different females, adults, come onto this video and have something to say. And 4 of them wasn't the girl's mother.
Who are they?
Right? And
The
it doesn't
village.
even matter.
And where
And
was they? Where were they at?
hold on. It doesn't even matter because all they're showing is the generational pattern of what she just did to that other lady. They're doing to her right now, the little girl. It's a pattern. Henry is right. It's the parents. The parents is showing the pattern right now. If that's the mom's sister, her friends. There's no reason why they all need to be in the video on the internet of the little girl apologizing, number one. Number two, like you said, where was they all at when the little girl was doing this? And that's not even important. Where was they at before any of this ever happened? To tell her not to do stuff like that. Because obviously,
Don't go with the crowd. Don't do with the crowd doing. My mama used to always tell us, "Hey, if people jumping off the bridge, are you gonna follow 'em?"
Yes, my mama always did say that. And also, this is not the first time she done something like this. This is just the first time she got caught because they recorded it on video.
Hey, Henry,
He's
too, what did your
not
brother say? It's been a
apologizing.
2-year struggle. He said it was a 2-year struggle. So you're telling me this little girl, since she was in the 7th grade, 6th grade, been picking on that little boy? She been picking on that little boy for 2 years without consequence.
And let's remember, the little boy is 9 years old. His sister is 6. This girl is past the age of 12. She is in the 8th grade. You is picking on elementary students and you assaulted a dog. No respect for adults. No empathy or sympathy for an adult who is pregnant.
Or kids younger than you.
This woman is not your mama or your mama friend, so you don't care about her.
But then, hold on, Henry. Let's see this. What you just said is a fact, but also in the same breath, right? Because that's how she was viewing it in the moment, right? So in the same breath, why do we have to take into any type of consideration what the mom said about leniency and mercy and compassion and all these things that supposedly good Christians supposed to do, but at the same time, yeah, but when you was in the moment and right now, obviously, based on the demeanor of the people in the video, you don't have any of that. I haven't seen no remorse in this whole video.
Research and development.
A judge is gonna watch this. No remorse. There's no remorse. There's no emotion coming from anybody but that little girl, and you can tell the emotion is from her getting in trouble, not because she feels bad.
Yeah.
So fact. Look, I'm gonna leave y'all fellas on this, man. Take care. God bless both of y'all brothers, man. Keep on doing the great job y'all doing, man. I love the show. I thank y'all for letting me come on, man, share my opinions and my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? This is the only reflection of me and my own thoughts, my own opinions, not the show host or anyone else, my job or anybody else. So this is my own opinion, my own thoughts. So y'all take care, man. Everybody that showed up, looked out, and take care, man. I got to get some rest and go to work in the morning. Take care, y'all.
Okay, take care. So we got to another part. Let's say this real quick. Thank everyone who's been watching so far. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification. And also hit that thumb up button to like. And if you have any questions and you don't know any of us personally, hit the email. Tell us if we doing a great job or you want us to touch on the topic. Go to ngaworldorder@gmail.com. If you want to help us out with a donation to help the channel keep everything running smoothly, hit us with a Cash App donation at Newsroom 16. We not asking mandatory that you donate. It's up to your free will. But outside of that, thank you for viewing us. So let's go back more into the video.
And I know I'm a better person than what I was yesterday. And I can make a difference.
And you will make a difference, right?
I will make a difference.
Okay. So whoever left and whatever that's about, I want y'all to know that this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves. So we want to make sure that we check that and that we be present, and that those people that are not on the ground, those people that are scared of our young kids, that we get out here and we touch them, that we let them know that we here, that we got something to say, that we care about them, that they have more resources than they know, and that we are available to them.
And know that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise all these kids. This is not just one person's fight. This all, and I want you to know, Kamara, this is not all on you. You taking your responsibility of the role that you played in this. And she know the role that she played in this. And I want y'all to know that this is not the kid that she is, nor will she let the internet turn her into a kid that y'all gonna try to say she is. So we are cooperating with investigation, or whatever needs to happen will happen.
And I think we had a pretty honest conversation today, right? Yeah. And you understand, like, it's okay to be smart. You're smart. You get A's and B's. You the captain of the cheerleading team. You was homecoming queen. You don't have to be bad just because you think it's cool. You don't have to do what other people do. Right? This don't define you. You are wrong. But this is not your end all be all. You can come back from this.
And you will come back from this.
You will come back from this. And everybody, like, give these parents and these kids, let's give them, the kids, a little grace. Let's get to the bottom of this. This is an issue in our community. This is why the term a village, it takes a village. It's a lot for a parent. I'm not a parent, but it's a lot for a parent. Like, let's let these kids take accountability, but let's not dog these kids. These are kids.
And let's make sure that we explain it to these kids why it's wrong. A lot of these kids are each other influences. And it's so easy to say, oh, they being raised wrong. No, sometimes kids are being raised right. This child, she being raised right. She's being raised correctly. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. So we're not going to.
The reflection. What an apology.
Listen. Everybody on that John, except for the lady who actually dropped Jews. The one lady who told her it's cool to be smart and stuff like that, that was the good leader. That was the example right there. Because she was giving the solid advice. Not just to the girl who did it, but also to everybody else watching. That's real leadership. All the mother and the other two is doing is giving excuses and trying to justify the actions to escape accountability and liability. They're doing it. They're talking about it takes a village or it's a community thing. No, it's not a community thing. It is an individual parent thing. It's bad parenting. If your kids succumb to peer pressure, that's bad parenting. And she's right. A lot of us in our lifetime have succumbed to peer pressure, but not to jump in a disabled lady to the point of going to the critical condition. That's something that you see. The reason why I'm judging it fairly is because I know that in order for you as a child to jump a grown person, not even just disabled, a grown person, means that effectively you was told that was okay, whether directly or indirectly. You was told that was okay. You were shown in examples in the neighborhood when you see people getting jumped. When your parents didn't say nothing to you when you was getting into they definitely called you because your kid was bullying people at the school. You know what I'm saying? They definitely told you. It was 2 years. They definitely told you. You're not going to try to get away, trying to skirt responsibility by, oh, you're going to take your responsibility for your part in this. No, that's wrong. Everybody got to take responsibility for their action. But that little girl is only responsible for her personal action, fighting. But the liability and the accountability goes on that lady right there, the mom. Because the mom should have raised her right. And she keeps saying, oh, it doesn't have nothing to do with raising them right and doing it. This girl gets raised right. Listen, if your daughter was getting raised right, then how come there's all them other kids at the school, little girls that's in her grade, that didn't beat that lady up? that didn't join into the fanaticism.
Correct.
Let's put it in a modern day terms, not following the trend. What makes them different? It goes back to what I was saying, Henry, about what our parents taught us. It's that decision. It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with. Oh, did you raise them right, or did you? It was that little girl's decision with malice. In the moment, that's the part that people has got to understand. It's with malice, and you can tell by the way these people, the grown-up adults, is talking. They're trying to get out of accountability. They're not feeling remorse. They're not feeling guilty. You can look on the mom's face and she don't feel guilty. She don't feel guilty. The mom's on here looking like she's going Instagram Live. Come on, be honest.
I didn't hear the mama apologize either.
One time. I didn't hear the mom apologize one time. But she got her daughter on here making a criminal confession on the internet forever, giving a criminal confession that, remember, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Anything you say. So the mom could go to jail for this on the accountability of the charges if they advance the charges to attempted murder. The mom is getting charged with the attempt murder because you can't charge a child under a certain age with a murder. I'm telling you, bro.
Just like I said earlier, you buy a pit bull and that pit bull get loose and bite somebody, the owner is responsible.
And what do? What's the two things they do?
Oh, one thing, they be ready to put the dog to sleep.
And then number two is they got to pay for whatever damage the dog did to you.
Yes.
So, and see, your brother earlier was like, oh, you're comparing kids to dogs. It's not literal, though. It's liability and legalities. You're legally and you're showing legal liability. Who's responsible and accountable for these charges?
So
a lot of people misunderstood.
Let's go more into the video and finish it off.
Try to somehow take ourselves out of the equation.
And also, we can start an initiative. I think we're going to work with Kamara to start maybe a bullying campaign or something to raise more awareness, to let everybody know that this is serious. She knows it's serious and that this is not okay. So, yeah, and we'll definitely have some bullying, anti-bullying, even anti-peer pressure. It's all the same. It's all one and the same. So
it's Chicago. It's a big city.
Yeah.
And we all we got.
But you also know you make your own decisions. Mm-hmm. When you get in trouble, you in trouble. You don't get to fall back on it because you're a kid. Yeah, we all know that, but you still have to put your best foot forward. You still got to do the best that you can. You still cannot put your hands on people, feet on people, or none of that. The only time you need to be putting your hands on somebody is if they touch you. Other than that, your hand's supposed to be on your side.
I just want to say this.
Well, there was only, out of all four of those women, there was only one woman that was the voice of reason and the voice of righteousness over there, because see how you saw how at the end, I know you got that on purpose too in the clip, because they was clout chasing at the end. Oh, we're going to start an anti-bullying campaign, blah, blah, blah. Where was that at before your daughter started beating people up on national TV? On international internet? For somebody in Bangladesh, your daughter beat up a lady with sickle cells.
The child been doing this. She been doing type of behavior like this. This been going on for 2 years. Now you got caught. You're embarrassed more than anything. And your mama is embarrassing you more.
Oh, guess what? But her mom is gonna be all the way embarrassed when they gotta go to court off that.
And
That
they
video.
keep on saying that it take a village to raise a child. Don't look bad on the child. Yes, the young girl, she have opportunity to learn from this and do something different.
Yeah, but listen, hold on, Henry, hold on. Let me say something too about that, because you're right. But there's another parallel to this, right? It's another level right now, because we have to go with the assessment of what we know, what we've seen, right?
Yeah.
What was said also. Now, that mom right there said that she already comprehended, not even understood, she comprehended that grown adults in that neighborhood is scared of the children. So that means she already knew ahead of time psychologically. Remember, that's a psychological tell. She told on herself without knowing she told on herself, because she said what she witnessed, what she knows to be a fact. These parents and these adults is scared of children. And that means that you guys ain't raising your children, because obviously your child is one of the terrorists. And I'm saying
terrorizing the community.
And I'm saying the word terrorist because beating up disabled people is an act of terrorism. Because it's one thing if that lady was a regular grown adult, she didn't have no health condition. And to be honest with you, if it was, I doubt those children would have ever tried anything. If it was a healthy individual. It goes back into the predatory mindset, right? You got to pick on the weakest one. You got to try to, that's why you know it's with malice. That's why I kept saying that. They attacked that lady and her child with malice, knowing they had physical disability. They can't defend themselves appropriately. Hell, the son, he probably, because he got a mental disorder, he probably don't even understand why he got beat up. He probably don't even comprehend why they beat up his mom. But
in the video, the son protected his mother belly, protected the life that was in his mother.
Right, because that's self-defense. That's like an instinct. That's more so instinct, because you gotta think about that, bro. Them other kids was using premeditated attack. Remember, we got see. This is where people is acting up. Especially these people in the video, Henry, because we need to assess it like if it was grown folks. Nobody's saying we gotta assess that. We gotta charge these kids like grown folks, but we do gotta assess the behavior like if it was grown folks. We gotta still do the same forensic ability. You gotta still use your mind. You still gotta use deductive reasoning, critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? These kids knew that girl is in the 8th grade, so she is beyond the age limit of, oh, she didn't know. No, she knows what somebody with a disability is. She's been through 8 grades of school already. So you mean to tell me that girl, if we go back into her permanent record and we see in the last 7 grades that she doesn't have any handicapped disabled people who's in her class?
I'm like, dude.
That's going to be out of line.
All I heard was it take a village to raise a child. It take a village to raise a child. Let's say the woman who was the victim, her 9-year-old son grew up to dislike the village because he was raised by the village experience what he experienced in the village and come back and look for this girl.
Hey, ain't that what Tupac said? Coming back after all these years.
Yeah.
Rat, tat, 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 tat. That's the way it is. And we talk about Chicago. So that little boy might not even be waiting until he's grown. He might turn 10, 11, 12 and come. And then we might be seeing somebody in Chicago shot up the 4th of July cookout, and it was him because he was trying to kill that girl. You see what I'm saying? You're right on that, Henry. You're all the way on point with that assessment. That's what I'm talking about with these psychological and critical thinking skills and repercussions of the actions. People don't think about that. This little girl's talking about, I will make a change, and I will do this, and I will do that. When their parents are saying be present, but in 3 years, she could get took up out of here by that little boy when he's 12 years old. He could remember. What happens if this video follows his memory and as he gets older, and all he does is keep going on to these YouTube videos and other stuff and watching the replay. Not only is it traumatizing his mind where he sees it in his head, but he's also going into, social, because remember, he already got a mental disability. So that means that if he got bipolar or he's got autism or something like that, that means he's only one major traumatic event away from being a sociopath. We talking about a Michael Myers, a Freddy, or a Jason out here. Talking about a King Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? We talking about folks who's coming out here with, by the time that they're 17, 18 years old, they're already soulless. They have no value for life because nobody valued their life. But then you got somebody who people valued their life, this little girl, and she threw it away for no reason, but they expect us to let her slide because she has something to lose, but that little boy doesn't know the difference. He's mentally disabled. All he knows is those people tried to hurt his mom.
Right.
That's why you have to be careful what you do. You can't do things in this world with malice.
It's a wild world out here. We got people in high places doing strange things. The community, or as they say, the village, need to speak more about morals and ethics than showering their kids with luxury. Because we see you could give your child a world, be the lead cheerleader, homecoming queen, and still don't have no morals.
Hey, Henry, let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Right? It's very important because it's a futuristic question, right? What do you think would be the consequence if we was basing it right now on the social credit system?
Oh my goodness. All I can see is Mad Max.
No, I'm saying, look. This is what I mean. Because you're right about that part, but that's extreme because that's going like mad far.
Yeah.
I'm talking about with this type of a circumstance with this little girl. Now, think about what you just said. That means that based on the social credit system, she would have got took off the cheerleading team, can't never cheerlead again. She would have got took off for any participation of any type of group sports, group settings. because of her bad social behavior, right? Now
Yeah.
the mom might not be able to drive her car anywhere but to work and home. And she's not allowed to leave the premise of the house without a legitimate reason that's approved by whoever approves the social credit system, the state, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to get too deep in the details of that part, but you know what I'm saying? Because you got to raise your kid. You can't go nowhere after work. Grown folks, think about it, Henry. Grown folks on punishment. You didn't ground your kids, so we grounding you. Now you got no choice but to raise your kids. You're home now you got to be home every minute of every day that you're not at work. You got to be home. I'm just saying that everybody want to know that's the future of America, the social credit system. So, you know, like the guy who I forgot what his name is, but the CEO who's implementing the social credit system, you know, the Apple IDs and all that digital ID stuff. You got to understand, they're making it so if you don't teach your kids not to do crime or not to do bad things or not to follow the rules, they're not going to be able to do anything else, and neither are you. Remember, Henry, even me and you right now, if we say something they don't like about the converts in the social credit system, they could freeze our bank account.
Yeah.
Got no credit. You got no credits. What you mean? I just got my work check. No, you didn't, because we didn't allow it, because what you said about them converts.
Yeah.
On the TV, right? So we got as a people, we gotta be prepared, right, for the future of what's to come in this regulated system. But at the same time, it's because of the lack of morality and ethics overall, the reason why they got to introduce this type of system in the first place. Because the honor system ain't working, right, Henry? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The honor system ain't working, bro.
So we been on here for 2 hours, going on to 3. I want to thank everyone who came out, hit the comment section, hit the like button, and stayed with us from the beginning to the end. Appreciate you all for the views. Thank you all for the comment, for being a valuable part of this show. You might not be on this live, but you're a valuable part of the newsroom, as we never in the working service. We got work tomorrow. Wait, let me see what time it is. Okay, it's not the next day.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Close enough, though.
Yes, close. Thank you all for watching. Please share the show. And if y'all want to brush up on the information on the downloaded video, we got the girl confession. You could go directly to it and watch her confession and hear without the show. And we also got the news report in the short feed. Thank you all for coming in the newsroom. And we'll see you next time. Shin, you have something to say before we go?
You already know. Positive vibes brings positive results. Positive results means you're accomplishing your goals. Just because you're going through a negative circumstance doesn't mean you can't have a positive outcome. Stay motivated, stay ambitious, and keep it moving. But one last thing. Make sure you make the right choices.
Facts, facts. Next show, it's coming soon. And for the people who traveling for Thanksgiving, be safe on the road. Be safe traveling by plane, by bus, by personal vehicle, and so forth. Be safe these holiday season. Enjoy the family time. Thank you, and we see you next time in the newsroom. This is your host, Henry, and co-host Shinakma JML. Peace and blessings.
Peace.